Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, entitled Creation, Chapter 9, The Passing Away of Bhismadev, text number 33. Tribhuvana Kamanam Tamalavarnam Ravikara Gauravara Ambaram Dadhane Vapuralaka Kulabrita Nabjam Vapuralaka Kulabrita Nabjam Vijaya Sakherati me Anavadya Tribhuvana Kamanam Tamalavarnam Ravikara Gauravara Ambaram Dadhane Vapuralaka Kulabrita Ananabjam Vijaya Sakherati me Anavadya Tribhuvana Kamanam Tamalavarnam Ravikara Gauravara Ambaram Dadhane Vapuralaka Kulabrita Nanabjam Vijaya Sakherati me Anavadya Gatirastu me Anavadya Tribhuvana Kamanam Tamalavarnam Ravikara Gauravara Ambara Dadhane Vapuralaka Kulavrita Nanabjam Vijaya Sakherati me Anavadya Tribhuvana Kamanam Tamalavarnam Ravikara Gauravara Ambaram Dadhane Vapuralaka Kulavrita Nanabjam Vijaya Sakherati me Anavadya. Synonyms: Tribhuvana, three statuses of planetary systems. Kamanam, the most desirable. Tamalavarnam, bluish like the tamal tree. Ravikara, sun rays. Gaura, golden color. Baram, glittering dress. Dadhane, one who wears. Bapuhu, body. Alaka kula abrata, covered with paintings of sandalwood pulp. Anana abjam, face like a lotus. Vijaya Sakhe, unto the friend of Arjuna. Rati astu, may attraction be reposed upon him. May, my. Anavadya, without desire for fruitive results. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Sri Krishna is the intimate friend of Arjuna. He has appeared on this earth in his transcendental body, which resembles the bluish color of the tamala tree. His body attracts everyone in the three planetary systems, upper, middle, and lower. May his glittering yellow dress and his lotus face, covered with paintings of sandalwood pulp, be the object of my attraction, and may I not desire fruitive results. Translation with repetition. Sri Krishna is the intimate friend of Arjuna. He has appeared on this earth in his transcendental body, which resembles the bluish color of the tamala tree. His body attracts everyone in the three planetary systems, upper, middle, and lower. May his glittering yellow dress and his lotus face, covered with paintings of sandalwood pulp, be the object of my attraction, and may I not desire fruitive results. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. When Sri Krishna, by his own internal pleasure, appears on earth, he does so by the agency of his internal potency. The attractive features of his transcendental body are desired in all the three worlds, namely the upper, middle, and lower planetary systems. Nowhere in the universe are there such beautiful bodily features as those of Lord Krishna. Therefore, his transcendental body has nothing to do with anything materially created. Arjuna is described here as the conqueror, and Krishna is described as his intimate friend. Bhishmadev, on his bed of arrows after the battle of Kurukshetra, is remembering the particular dress of Lord Krishna, which he put on as the driver of Arjuna's chariot. While fighting was going on between Arjuna and Bhishma, Bhishma's attraction was drawn by the glittering dress of Krishna, and indirectly he admired his so-called enemy Arjuna for possessing the Lord as his friend. Arjuna was always a conqueror because the Lord was his friend. Bhishmadev takes this opportunity to address the Lord as Vijaya Sakhe, friend of Arjuna, because the Lord is pleased when he is addressed conjointly with his devotees, who are related with him in different transcendental humors. While Krishna was the charioteer of Arjuna, sun rays glittered on the dress of the Lord, and the beautiful hue created by the reflection of such rays was never forgotten by Bhishmadev. As a great fighter, he was relishing the relation of Krishna in the chivalrous humor. Transcendental relation with the Lord in any one of the different rasas, humors, is relishable by the respectable devotees in the highest ecstasy. Less intelligent mundaners who want to make a show of being transcendentally related with the Lord artificially jump at once to the relation of conjugal love, imitating the damsels of Brajadham. Such a cheap relation with the Lord exhibits only the base mentality of the mundaner, because one who has relished conjugal humor with the Lord cannot be attracted to worldly conjugal rasa, which is condemned even by mundane ethics. The eternal relation of a particular soul with the Lord is evolved, A genuine relation of the living being with the Supreme Lord can take any form out of the five principal rasas. And it does not make any difference in transcendental degree to the genuine devotee. Bhismadev is a concrete example of this, and it should be carefully observed how the great general is transcendently related with the Lord. Thus ends the wonderful transcendental Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So I would like to welcome you to this Sunday Bhagavatam class. Actually, when I was preparing for this class, I had some goosebumps. I was thinking about this verse more and more, and I just couldn't resist myself as to how should I express this by little understanding of what Prabhupada has explained in this. So I was searching for beautiful Krishna in the picture, and I could find whatever that poster that I don't know how many of you saw, but when I saw that, I was just blown away. It's just a picture of Krishna. Imagine if the Supreme Lord is personally standing before us. So attractive. So attractive. But unfortunately, to relish His beauty, the Lord, when He stands personally before us, we don't have the qualification. We just see it as just a stone, metal or something. But the Lord is so attractive, so beautiful. And why should we invest our mind in looking at the beautiful form of the Lord? Many reasons, many reasons. So, to understand this verse and to appreciate this, how Prabhupada has explained, and so wonderful this is, the context is very, very important. So, the context is here, Bhismadev is quitting his body. He is lying on his deathbed, pierced by the arrows of Arjuna. Every single inch of his body is pierced by arrows. Very painful situation, he is lying there. And just to, refresh our memory, when Bhismadev saw that this Pandavas dressed in the regal attire, accompanied by Krishna, it's not telling first thing, "Arey, my God, the Bhagavad Gita or the battle of Kurukshetra started in Mokshada Ekadashi, when Arjuna heard Bhagavad Gita from Krishna. And this is, Bhismadev is quitting his body on Makar Sankranti. It's been a long time, surrounded by dead bodies, stinking, filthy, pierced by arrows, lying in that place, 400 years old, Bhismadev. But the first thing that when he saw this Pandavas, he says, "Aho kashtam, aho anyayam, yad juyam nandanandana, aho kashtam, aho anyayam." Oof, what terrible injustice, what terrible sufferings you have to go through. Aho kashtam, aho anyayam. He's not telling how much painful, in what pain I'm lying here, waiting for you, Krishna. You are coming now. Battle of Kurukshetra is over long back and you're showing up now. Oh. Aho kashtam, aho anyayam. And then he talks about so many things, and then he gives instruction to Yudhishthir Maharaj, because Yudhishthir Maharaj was feeling guilty inside. Because of me, because that, I have to be enthroned, I have to become the king or emperor, so many innocent peoples got killed. I am responsible for that. And Bhismadev gives so many wonderful instructions. After having given so many wonderful instructions, Bhishma Dev says this verse which comes, Tasmad idam daivatantram vyavasya bharatarshava tasyanubhita anatha natha pahi prajah pravo. Tasmad idam daivatantram. Very important. Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says, Maya dhyakshana prakriti suyate sacharacharam. This entire material world is working under the direction of Jagadisha. Jagat is under the control of Jagadisha. Daiva Tantram, by the enchanting will of providence, by the enchantment providence only. It is by Lord's control. All of us in this world who are there, who have accepted the body and living, we are all under the control of the Lord. Bhishma Dev's instruction to Yudhishthir Maharaj was, don't worry about happiness and misery. They are anyway going to come. Don't try to find out the reason behind that. Rather, follow the instruction of Supreme Lord who is standing before you. Daivatantram. Tasmad idam daivatantram vyavasya bharatarshava. Tasyanu bihita natha natha anatha natha pahi prajapravo. So the important word that is used there is daivatantram. So as I said, the context is very, very important. If you miss the context, you can't understand why he's saying that, this absorption of our mind in Krishna is so important. So first thing you keep paying attention to these words, because if you pay attention, I'm sure you'll also experience the same ecstasy, at least a little bit. We're all conditioned soul. This ecstasy also is false. It's not the real ecstasy. But you'll see how meaningful this is, how wonderful this is. So therefore, Bhishma Dev's instruction was, instead of endeavoring to find out the cause for happiness and distress, become a king and follow his instruction. That is what we are also supposed to do. Don't get carried away. Oh, I'm so happy. Now the situation is reversed and I'm feeling so much of miseries. No, don't get carried away. These are all happening by Daiva Tantram. Align yourself with the plan of the Lord. The Lord, on the other hand, if you see the subsequent verses, is controlled by his devotees. The jiva, the conditioned living entity, may feel this is a work which is of higher nature. This work is lowly nature. This concept of high, ucha and nicha, is there in the conditioned soul's mind, not in the case of the Supreme Lord. The Lord, when he was a charioteer, even at that time, he is the Supreme Lord. It's not that charioteer work is a small work and the Lord has, accepted a demeaning position. No, the Lord is Lord, even while he is a charioteer. There is a verse which Prabhupada quotes. It says, Ucha Nicha Vaishamya Advaya Jnana Sunya. Ucha Nicha Vaishamya. This Ucha Nicha, for the Lord, it's all absolute. Whether he's a charioteer, whether he's doing, or he's a king, doesn't matter. He is still the Supreme Lord. Jnana Raga, Ucha Nicha Vaishamya, Advaya Jnana, and Ragadi Sunya. The Lord doesn't have any attachment to anything. Since people like us, we have attachment and aversion, raga, that is why some things we like, some things we appreciate, some things we don't. But not with the case of the Lord. Sarvatmana, he's there in the heart of everybody. He's seeing and reciprocating based on what we are desiring, what is going on inside us. Sarvatmana. Then there is a very important verse which comes in this whole episode of Bhishma Dev's quitting his body. Bhaktya Veshya Mano Yasmin. Bhaktya Veshya Mano Yasmin Vacha Yan Nama Kirtayan. Tyajan Kalevaram Yogi Muchyate Kama Karvavi. So wonderful verse is this. How does a yogi quit his body? There are two things which is mentioned here. Bhaktya Veshya Mano Yasmin. They observe their mind in the Lord. How? Bhaktya Vesya. Not just offering the mind. We're thinking, Krishna says, Manmana Bhava Mad Bhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru. We have to give our mind. How? Bhaktya Vesya. It should be soaked, imbued, absorbed, saturated with bhakti. Bhaktya Vesya Mano Yasmin. Vacha Yan Nama Kirtayan. The tongue We should just remember the Lord, chant His names. Tyajan kalevaram yogi, muchyate kama karbam hi. If you do that, muchyate, you'll become free from all the bondage of the fruitive work. Bhacha yan nama kirtayan. So if we are really fortunate, very fortunate in our life, we will be able to chant the name of the Lord at the time of death. Vacha yan nama kirtayan. But what if we are not? Can somebody guarantee that I'll be able to remember the Lord at the time of death? I don't know. Maybe it could be an accident, it could be something, I'm lying, I'm in a coma, or what, I don't know what will be my state of mind, or what I'll go through at the time of death. I have no idea, no control over that. Then what should be done? That's why this word is bhaktya veshya. Bhaktya veshya is possible only by hearing. Only by hearing. No other way. What if we are not? So if you are not fortunate, as Bhagavatam mentions, that the person who's on his deathbed, who's dying, who's about to die, the pain that he has to go through, even the voice, he can't even call out the name of the Lord. Some gurr sound will come. And you are about to die. So that is why bhaktya vesya. Mind, though it is a part of the subtle body, it is linked to the body, but it is separate. The body might be in extreme painful situation, very difficult situation, but the mind might be still active. If the mind is tuned to absorb in Krishna, now, aveshya, bhaktya aveshya. If the mind is tuned to absorb in Krishna now, then at the time of death, that aveshya will come to our help. If the mind is in all over, everywhere, all kinds of things, also Krishna, no. It has to be absorbed in Krishna, and that is possible by hearing. How fortunate we are, how fortunate we get to hear Bhagavatam. But how unfortunate we are that we don't develop a taste for this. Though despite we hear it every time and we hear Prabhupada's words, so easy. You can absorb your mind in Krishna. At the time of death, even if we are not able to chant the names of the Lord, because, so many things can happen. Since we have practiced to absorb our mind in Krishna, we will be able to. Actually, mind is considered to be a storehouse of impressions. Right? All the things that we are doing in life, all things that are happening, all the interactions, they are stored as impressions in our mind. And not just this life, millions of births' impressions are there in the mind. If someone is attracted to samsara, which all of us are, most of us are, or I think all of us, at the time of death, those thoughts will be predominant as the impressions are there. These feelings are there. The mind is very subtle. Mind is in one place, in the 11th canto, is compared to a white dress. You're wearing a white dress. Okay. Now, suppose you are coming and you touched something, some little dirty things. That spot will be there in that white dress. It's very easily visible. Right? Doesn't matter, what color it is, that mark sometimes remains as a permanent thing. Right? These impressions remain in the mind like a white dress always. Always it remains. The two things that mind gets, spots from is dosha and guna. We see, okay, this person has got so many bad qualities. Bad person. This is good person. Dosha and quality, right? But Bhagavatam is saying it's not worth discussing about somebody's good quality and bad qualities. It's not worth it. Because they will remain as a daga, as an impression in the mind, but it's of no use at the time of death. But if we think of the Lord continuously, listen to His glories, then the mind will become aveshya, bhaktya aveshya. Prabhu's glories, the pastimes, the holy name of the Lord. And when we hear His glorification, the mind will get absorbed in that. So even though the body is not working, mind will work. And the Lord will release him from kama karma bhi, from the bondage of fruitive activities. The Lord, if we carry Him in our hearts or chant His names and quit the body, then the yogi will get released from kama karma bhi. This is the verse. So that is why Bhishmadeva's prayer, which will say, Sadeva Devo Bhagavan Pratikshata. Wait, O Lord, wait. Let me absorb my mind. We will not be that fortunate. We will not get a chance like this. But Bhishmadeva's prayer is, Sadeva Devo Bhagavan Pratikshata. Wait for a little while, O Lord. I'll come to that, how he comes. Kalevaram yavad idam hinomi aham. I'm now about to quit my body. Let me absorb my mind. Let me absorb. So, I don't know how many of you know this, but long back, before coming to Krishna consciousness, I used to watch a lot of movies. And I used to watch a lot of gangster movies. Have you seen any gangster movies? Some. Which one? Don't recall, okay. There is if you search in Google, this is actually a fact. In famous gangsters will be from Mexico, the cartels, or from Italy, or from Japan. Okay, the Japanese gangsters have a very unique thing. If somebody violates their code of laws or the code of conduct of the gangsters, suppose you become a traitor. That's what happens. They swap and they fight amongst each other. So the thing that you have to do is you have to cut your finger and give it. If you have to stay. If you are caught and if somebody catches you, then one finger you have to give. So actually in Quora, I don't remember the word now, but if you search, there is actually a person who was a gangster has written one comment. What is it called? I don't remember. But that person didn't have 3 fingers. So as many times you do, something which is, like a faithless thing, you cross the line. To prove your loyalty, you have to give 1 finger. So if 3 times you've done, 3 fingers. If more than 10, I don't know what you have to cut. But anyway, you have to cut your finger. So point I'm trying to say is, the mind, if it is strong, mind is actually strong, it is subtle. You don't even mind experiencing that pain, right? Everybody in this world is very attached to his body. Now, if I say, now you're sitting here, no? I'll call 2-3 people and I'll give them pin to prick you, right? Or wherever, or something, I'll start beating you. Bhagoge yahan se, kaun yahan baithta hai, right? It's a very classic example of this in Bhagavatam mentioned in the episode of Vritrashura. When the demigods knew that Vritrashura has become so powerful, it's a demon, they, as per the advice of the Lord, go to a rishi by name Dadichi Rishi, and they ask for his bones. How can you give your bones if I ask you, give me your bones? Will you be able to give your bones? There's no way. Unless you die, you can't give your bones. That means indirectly I'm asking that you die so that I can use your bones. And Dadichi Muni, for a while thought, for a moment he thought that this body is the dearmost thing to each one of us. But now the Lord wants. So if the Lord wants and it will be used for the service of the demigod, he didn't mind, he gave it up. So here, if you see the prayer of Bhishmadev, he's saying, the verse that he's saying is, Sadeva Devo Bhagavan Pratikshatam Kalevaram Yavad Idam Hinomi Aham. I'm ready to quit my body. I want to quit my body. So for us, we are not going to quit our body. We will be forced to. Our body will be forcefully taken away from us. But the yogis, the devotees, Kalevaram Yavad Idam Hinomi Aham. Hinomi is to give it up. I'm about to quit this body. And while quitting this body, he's saying that let my mind, Sadeva Deva Bhagavan Pratikshatam, let my mind be completely absorbed in Krishna. A man who's absorbed in bhakti, he will not feel the pain of the body. Just like a man who's absorbed in samsara doesn't feel the pain of the samsara, who's deeply absorbed. And so many times we are getting beaten up, so many miseries are coming, we don't give up. I want to live here in this material world in a happy state. A man absorbed in bhakti won't feel the pain of the body. And since we don't have that bhakti abeshyata, since we don't have an absorption of bhakti in our mind, little pain comes, we feel disturbed, agitated. Oh, nahi. First thing, bhakti nahi karna hai. Because we don't have that abeshyata. Look at Prabhupada. So glaring, so glorious example, isn't it? How the body was completely emaciated. There was nothing, no muscles, no flesh. The mind completely absorbed in bhakti, completely, doesn't feel the pain, continuing with that situation. So bhaktyavesh, it is very important. Krishna consciousness is not an artificial thing where, ऊपर ऊपर में हम लोग कर रहे हैं कुछ, अंदर कुछ चल रहा है. Because, we may cheat the whole world. How will we cheat ourselves? How will we cheat the Lord? We can't. The Lord knows and we also know what is our position. Bhaktyaveshya. Then what he says, then a very interesting thing Bhishmadev says, because if you see the context and come where he is now focusing on Krishna, the beautiful form of Krishna, you will also feel inside, oh my God, let me also do this. My senses, my limbs, my mind, everything is in my control. I'm young. This is in my control. Let me do it now. And let me continue to do it till the end of my life. Then the next verse he says, 30 verse, Tada upasamhritya girah sahasranir vimukta sangam manadi purushe krishne lasat pita pate chaturbhuje purasthite amlita drigga vedharayat. Tada upasamhritya giraha. These two words, tada upasamhritya giraha. You should chant at least 1,000 times. Tada upasamhritya gira, tada upasamhritya gira sahasranir. That Bhishmadev, who's an expert in thousands of topics. He spoke about Raja Dharma, he spoke about the Varnashrama, he spoke about so many things. Tada upasamhritya giraha. He withdrew his power of speech. The worst thing that we have been given with, and simultaneously that is the best thing, is our tongue. This tongue doesn't have any bone. It can go anywhere. So what is the first thing that Bhishmadev did when he's about to glorify the Lord? Tada upasamhritya gira. He withdrew. He just stopped these activities of speaking. He was talking on 1,000 things. He was asking about the welfare of the Pandavas. He was asking about the welfare of Kunti Devi. He was giving so many sermons, instructions. All of a sudden now, when he know that this is the final time, Sadeva Deva Bhagavan Pratikshatam, when he has told, oh Lord, please wait for this, first thing he did is withdrew his tongue. Tada upasamhritya gira. That is why Rupa Goswami says, Vacho Begam. First is this urge to speak. That has to be controlled. Raghunath Das Goswami, in his Manasiksha, first thing he says is, this tongue is like a prostitute. And the prostitute comes dressed so nicely and beautifully that you fall for it, and it takes away all your wealth. Similarly, whatever we hear, whatever we read, whatever we chant, after that, this asati tongue, this tongue which is like prostitute, when it talks about asat katha, it takes away all the punya, all the things that we have done, everything becomes zero. Because we indulge in all this asat katha, which looks very attractive. So tada upasamhritya gira. Gira is the power of speaking. And Bhishmadev, he said he became silent, withdrawing his speech. Tongue is meant for two things: chanting the names of the Lord and taking Krishna prasadam. Nothing else. Tada upasamhritya gira sahasranir vimukta sangam manadi purushe. Vimukta sangam, another very powerful thing. Vimukta sangam. We have so many attachments, so many things with so many people. Vimukta sangam. He became free from all the, completely freed from everything else. If you see the process of going back home, back to Godhead in 15th chapter, Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna says, Nirmana moha jita sanga dosa. Nirmana moha. Nir means completely become free. Mana is false prestige. Nirmana moha, illusion. Being free from mana and moha, jita sanga dosa. And having conquered over this bad association. Nirmana moha jita sanga dosa, adhyatma nitya vinivritta kama. Vinivritta kama. Completely free from kama, desire, lust. Then it is possible. Jita sanga dosa, it's very important. So Bhishmadev, he withdrew his power of speaking. He became completely silent. Tada upasamhritya gira sahasranir, who's expert in thousands of topics, he withdrew his tongue can take us to Vaikuntha. It can be the road to hell also. All problems are created by this tongue. When we are chanting and hearing the glories, that is why we should not discuss any worldly things by being absent-minded. As such, the tongue is asati. But if we are becoming absent-minded, we are looking here and there, hey, 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 pepe, and then we are talking. No, 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 no. Very careful. Chanting and hearing the glories of the Lord, when we are hearing, very careful. No, don't get absent-minded. This is not the time. You have time for everything else. You go and sleep, you do whatever it is. But when you are here, be very careful. Don't talk to somebody. Don't gossip. Don't get distracted. Actually, to attract the Lord, we don't have capacity and qualification. Why? Because our heart, our mind is not clean. Only a clean person. Imagine, you are sitting next to a person who's stinking, who's dirty, who's wearing some filthy dress. Will you be attracted to sit next to him? Why will the Lord be attracted to, somebody who has got a filthy heart, stinking, full of dirt, full of contaminations? Why? The Lord also wants completely pure, clean heart. A clean person is attractive to everyone. Similarly, we are making ourselves clean from within by our sadhana. Last time we also heard, but this sadhana process is not the one which is going to attract Krishna. It is by mercy of Guru that we get attracted. If there is a kripa of Guru, spiritual master, because who is very dear to Krishna? So if the spiritual master says, no, this person is trying, he is doing sadhana, he is becoming cleansed, then the Lord will, we come and have darshan of the Lord here. Right? We come and stand, even that darshan with our material eyes, what darshan we will have of the Lord? Charma chakshu, this material eyes can't see the transcendental form of the Lord. We have to hear properly. But even if we want to have darshan, our mind is so distracted, so contaminated, so polluted, so dirty, it doesn't allow, because mind is the king. Mana shashani indriyani prakritisthani karsati. You have a desire to have the darshan of the Lord, but mind is pulling you away. Nahi, udhar jana hai, Uber aana hai, khana hai, bhagna hai, udhar koi wait kar raha hai, girlfriend, boyfriend. Something else is going on. I can't have darshan. And even if I want to have darshan, that is not important. What Prabhupada and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur and other acharyas say, is the Lord having darshan of us? Is the Lord looking at us? Work in such a way that the Lord becomes eager, interested in knowing you, seeing you. I am having darshan, yeah, I'm coming, I'm standing anyway. That darshan also is what darshan we are having, we don't know. It's not absorbed. But more importantly, is the Lord interested in seeing us? How will the Lord see us? We can't see the Lord because the mind is dragging. So what should we do? A very nice prayer I came across. I'll show you that. But if you see that, the next verse after this, Bhishma is telling, Iti matir upakalpita vitrishna bhagavati sattva. No, not this one. I missed the previous one. Yeah. Visuddhaya dharanaya hata subhas. Vishuddhaya. What you can offer to the Lord? Lord has everything. He is complete, aptakam. He's full in himself. He doesn't need any of our items, any of these things. What he's seeing is our mind. What he's seeing is what is going on in our mind, in what mood with his bhavagrahi Janardhan. He's seeing everybody's heart, what's going on. Visuddhaya. The mind that we want to offer to the Lord should be free from all contamination, completely pure, beautiful, clean mind. Vishuddhaya dharanaya hata subhas. There is a very beautiful prayer I came across. I would share that. I don't have it in this thing, but I have it in the website. If you see this, you'll understand how the mind can be purified. This is a prayer by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, a song which he has written, and this song is called, it's from Gitavali. Bhabona mana tumi ati dushta, vishaya vise acho hai. 4 problems Bhaktivinoda Thakur is listing here. Bhabona mana tumi ati dushta, vishaya vise acho re. Okay, let me read the Bhavana bhavana mano tumi ati dushta vishaya visayachore kama krodha lobha moha madadi avishta ripurvase achohe. This is the first stanza. Bhavana bhavana mano tumi ati dushta vishaya visayachore. See, today you are hearing Bhagavatam class, you may feel a little inspired, you may go back, not even to your home, you step outside this, you see your old friend with whom you discuss all mundane topics, you go back to your mundane topics and you start discussing about it. Then you go and sleep in the night. Morning you get up. You maybe have a determination before sleeping the night that I should get up. I'll come to the temple. I'll chant nicely. I will be very attentive. I will attend Mangala Arati or something like that. But the moment you get up in the morning, you think of wealth. You think of phone. You think of your family. Vishaya Vishayacho hai. The visha, the poison of drinking Vishaya, is deeply there in the mind. Bhavana bhavana mana tumi ati dushta. The mind is very wicked. Bhavana bhavana mana. It doesn't go to the Lord because the moment we are getting a first problem is Vishaya Vishayachohe. That desire to enjoy the material world, Vishaya, is deep rooted. It doesn't go. Vishaya Vishayachohe. And then Kama Krodha Lobha Moha Madadi Abhishta. Kama Krodha Lobha. That was Bhaktya Veshya Mano. And here it is Kama Krodha Lobha Moha Mada Adi. Adi is etc. So Kama Krodha Lobha Moha Mada Matsarya Avishta. It is mind is soaked, imbued. Whatever I used, all those saturated with Kama Krodha Lobha Moha Mada. Somebody who's an angry man, you can say that okay, he's an angry man. He's got this. He's Avishta. He's imbued with anger. How will you know a person who is Kama, who's got Lobha, who has got Moha, Mada? It's very difficult to know. You can't make it out, but it is all there. In one way or other, it is there. Ripur base acho hai. Base means, he has controlled. Ripu, these are the enemies who have controlled us. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Madadi, Avishta, Ripur base acho hai. Then, Asad Varta, Bhukti, Mukti, Pipasa, Akrishta. Asad Katha, Bhalo Lage hai. Asad Varta, I was telling this Asad Varta. We go out of this thing, association, whenever we come, Asad Varta, Bhukti, Mukti, Pipasa, Akrishta, Asad Katha Bhalo Lage hai. Like Raghunath Das Goswami is saying that this Asad Varta is like a prostitute, and when we keep relishing this Prajalpa, talking about somebody else, this thing, some frivolous thing, this bhakti, whatever we are gaining will go away. Asad Bharta, Bhukti, Mukti, Pipasa, Akrishta, Asad Katha Bhalo Lage hai. Asad Varta, Bhukti, Mukti, Pipasa. Bhukti is to enjoy. Mukti is also a problem? Yes, Mukti is also a problem. Why? Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Mama Janmani Janmani Sware Bhavatat Bhakti Rahitva Kitvai. What is that verse? Siddhi Sakali Asanta Krishna Bhakta Niskama Ateva Santa. Bhukti Mukti Siddhi Kami Sakali Asanta. Bhukti, Mukti, Siddhi. Mukti itself, that this material world is a troublesome thing. I just want to get rid of this liberation. That also is a desire. Asad Varta, Bhukti, Mukti, Pipasa, Akrishta. We are attracted, Akrishta, to Asad Varta, Bhukti, Mukti, Pipasa. Bhukti, Mukti. Bhukti is to enjoy. Mukti is to somehow, bahut problem ho gaya, bas, nikal jao. Bhukti, Mukti, Pipasa, Akrishta. Asad Katha Bhalo Lage hai. Bhukti, Mukti, Siddhi, Kami, Sakali, Asanta, Krishna, Bhakta, Niskam. Doesn't matter. As long as I'm getting an opportunity to engage in devotional service life after life, I don't have any desire. Krishna, Bhakta, Niskama, Ateva, Krishna, Bhakta, Niskama, Ateva, Santa. Then, Pratisthasa, Kutinati, Satha, Adi, Pishta. Pratisthasa, Kutinati, Satha, Adi, Pishta. Pratishtha. I somehow, to accept the poison of honor is far more difficult than to accept the poison of dishonor. Somebody doesn't care for you, you're okay. Like a drunkard man, if somebody says also, he doesn't mind. I'm a drunkard, unko kya malum main kya rasa le raha hu. He's just enjoying in his life. But somebody who's respecting you, you came here and somebody said, Hare Krishna Mataji, and then next time you come and that person is not showing you any respect. Mind में चल रहा है अरे last time बोला था अभी क्या हो गया प्रणाम भी नहीं कर रहा हरे कृष्णा क्या चल रहा है. So to accept the problem of somebody who is giving respect is not giving, very difficult. Pratishtha sa kutinati sathadi pishta. Pishta is, it's like crushed pishta. Pratishthas, I want some honor. People should know how big devotee I am, how nicely I'm giving class, how nice I'm doing kirtan. What these people know my value? I'm stuck Pratishthasa. Who am I? What is my value? Whatever I have gotten, it's all borrowed plumes. Pratisthasa, Kutinati, and diplomacy. Sathadi Pishta, and Satha is cheating tendency. Saralata Holena hai. The simplicism is Vaishnavism. If somebody is not simple, doesn't matter whether you have qualities, you don't have, you have this attitude, this thing, whatever, it all becomes immaterial. Simplicity is the key. Saralata Holena hai. First is Vishaya achhe hai, Ripur Vasa achhe hai, then Asat Katha Bhalo Lage hai, Saralata Holena hai. So this mind is impure by all these four things. Griheche Tumhare Bhai Esava Arishta Esava to Satru hai. These are all the four enemies that Bhaktivinoda Thakur says. Then what is the solution? This is the powerful thing. Esava na chhade kise pave Radha Krishna jatane chhado chhado hai. साधु संग बिना आर कोथा तव इष्ट साधु संग कोरो कोरो है वैष्णव चरणे मज घुचिवे अनिष्ट एक बार भेवे देखो है साधु संग बिना आर कोथा तव इष्ट साधु संग कोरो कोरो है कम टू डिवोटी एसोसिएशन वैष्णव चरणे मज हम आते हैं इधर with so much of envy, so much of anger, so much of frustration. ये हम लोगों को क्या बताएंगे, हम इतना बड़ा एक कंपनी का मालिक हैं, सीईओ हैं, इतना कॉलेज में इतना हाई परसेंटेज लेके आए हैं. नो 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 नो, साधु संग विनार कोथा तव इष्ट साधु संग करो है. Only in sadhu sangha, only in devotee association, this mind will get purified. You can get purified by associating with a person who is trying to get purified, who's completely pure, not with people who are impure. साधु संग विना आर कोथा तव इष्ट साधु संग करो करो है वैष्णव चरणे मज घुचिव अनिष्ट एक बार भेवे देखो. एक बार, just think once, एक बार भेवे देखो है. Once, just try this with this mood that let me serve the Vaishnavas. Don't see the faults. Don't get it. That is the mind's dirty business. It takes you away from Krishna. It doesn't make your mind clean. It doesn't make your heart clean. Vaishnava charane maja ghuchive anishta. Anishta, all your anishta will go. Vaishnava charane maja ghuchive anishta. Ek baar bheve dekho hai. Try once and see. So this is Gita Bali. This is Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying the four problems. Vishaya acha hai, Ripur Vasaya acha hai, what do you call, the Kama Krodhadi things. Asat Katha Bhalo Lage hai, and Saralata Holena hai. Saralata, there is no simplicity. Then, very interestingly, Raghunath Das Goswami has composed another song which says how we can make our mind absorbed in Krishna. What should we do? And he lists 8 items. Is that visible? No. It is there in, if you search in Vedabase, you will find that. I'll just read that. Just remember these 8 things. This is where the absorption comes. Gurudev Brajavane Brajabhumi Vasijane Suddha Bhakate Ara Vipragane Ishta Mantre Hariname Yugala Bhajana Kame Kara Rati Apurva Yatane. Gurudeva is the spiritual master. Have your mind attracted. You absorb your mind. Put your mind in Gurudeva. Gurudeva Brajavane. Brajavane, because Raghunath Das Goswami used to stay in Vrindavan. So he's telling, think of the place of Krishna or the abode of Krishna, Vrindavan. Gurudeva, Brajavane, Brajabhumi Basi Jane, and all the inhabitants of Brajabhumi or the acharyas who lived in this dham, think of them. Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, Brajabhumi Basi Jane. Suddha Bhakate Ara Vipragane. Suddha Bhakte Ara Vipragane. Suddha Bhakta, the pure devotees of the Lord, and Vipragane, and the Vaishnavas. How many are over? Gurudeva Brajavane, Brajabhumi Basi Jane, Suddha Bhakte Ara Vipragane. 5. Ishta Mantre. Ishta Mantre is the, we get this Gayatri mantra or the mantra that is making us close to the Lord. Any glorification of the Lord. Ishta Mantre. Hariname. The second is Hariname. Ishtamantre Hariname Yugala Bhajana Kame. And the conjugal, the dual this thing, Radha Krishna's Yugala Bhajana in their Bhajana Kame. Kararati Apurva Yatane. If you do that, then automatically your mind will get attracted. So, Gurudeve, Brajabane, Brajabhumi Basi Jane. Gurudeve is your spiritual master. Brajabane is Vrindavan. Brajabhumi Basi Jane. Brajabhumi Basi Jane, who are the devotees who lived in Vrindavan, like the Sat Goswamis and others. Suddha Bhakate, pure devotees. Are Vipragane and Vaishnavas. Ishta Mantre. Ishta Mantra is any mantra which is glorifying the Lord. Hariname, the names of the Lord, the chanting the names of the Lord. Yugala Bhajana Kame. Kararati Apurva Yatane. Dhari Mana Charane Tumara. Mana, my mind doesn't have legs, but Raghunath Das Goswami is telling, Dhari Charanata, I'm catching your feet, O mind. Absorb yourself in these 8 things. Gurudeve, Brajavane, Brajabhumi Basijane, Suddha Bhakate, Arabipragane, Ishta Mantre Hariname, Yugala Bhajana Kame, Kararati Apurva Yatane. Then, if we're already in 9.7, I said, no, this is just wonderful. Now let's see this verse, the verse that we are trying to see, that verse we will see. In fact, okay, I'm not displaying the PPT. So when Bhismadev saw Krishna, what happened? Visuddhaya. And he's telling that, no, it is not that I have gone to Krishna. Krishna has come to me. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in his commentary says, the Lord has come. It's like an atithi. When somebody comes to your house uninformed, unnoticed, it is your duty to give something. What will I give to that Lord? His body is old, dilapidated, 400 years old. Aham mameti. Aham is my body which is gone. Mameti, these Pandavas whom I consider mine, are actually yours. And it is because of those Pandavas that you have come, not because of me. Because the Pandavas are so dear and they are also somehow, they have got some affection for me. Because of their mercy, I am getting a vision of yours. That's what one of the verse in the previous thing he says. Visuddhaya dharanaya. Now, O Lord, I've got this one mind which I want it to be completely clean. Visuddhaya. I want to hold that clean mind and I want to offer it at your feet. Visuddhaya dharanaya hata subhas tad ikshaya vasu gata yuddha shramaha. Hata subhas. Now that he had the vision of the Lord, all the inauspicious thing in his life has gone. And gata yuddha shrama. All the pain which has come because of the fight, because of the battle, all these arrows have pierced, that pain also is gone. Nivritta sarvendriya vritti vibhramas. This is very important. Nivritta sarvendriya vritti vibhramas. Indriyas have their own vrittis. They want to drag us different directions. Do not allow us to concentrate. Do not allow us, especially the mind. It's dragging us. Indriya sarvendriya vritti vibhramas. Nivritta sarvendriya vritti vibhramas. All the senses he brought it to under his control. Nivritta sarvendriya vritti vibhramas. Tushtvava janyam visrijan janardanam. The word janardana also has so many meanings. Tushtava janyam visrijana janardana. Jana ardana, who's the maintainer of all living entities. He's offering his mind. Now the verse that we had today, let's go there. So powerful verse. We'll take 2 aspects of this and with that we'll close. I mean, if given a chance, maybe it will take many, many weeks to understand what this verse is. Very, very nice verse. But let's go to the verse first. Tribhuvana kamanam tamala varnam rabi kara gauravar ambaram dadhane bapur alaka kula vritana ananabjam vijaya sakhyratirastu me anavadya. Tribhuvana kamanam. How many of you think yourself to be beautiful? Manish, bada dava ke smile maar raha hai. Kya baat hai, Manish? How many of you don't think that you are beautiful? No. I will not accept. Actually, everybody thinks himself to be very beautiful. Maybe I'm a little fat. It's okay. Thoda pet ko tuck in karke, somehow I have to stand and some angle I look beautiful. Everybody thinks he's beautiful. And, very interestingly, the beauty that we have, it fades. There could be so many Miss Worlds, Miss Universes, whatever those pageants. Once they become old, they have wrinkles, they have this thing, the beauty has faded. Krishna's beauty is Navayovanam, Tribhuvana Kamanam. He doesn't become old like us. Tribhuvana Kamanam, Nava Yovanam. He's so attractive. He attracts the three bhuvana, the three planetary system, upper, middle, and lower planetary systems. All the inhabitants forget about the inhabitants of three planetary systems. Even Sthavara Jangama, even the people who can't talk, like stones, river, they also change their direction to look at Krishna. What is that verse? The four special things of Krishna. Four beauties, Rupa Madhuri. Huh? What is the first line? Sarbat Bhuta Chamatkara Leela Kallola Bhariti. No, first line is not that. Asamanardha Rupasri Bisma Pita Charachara. Asamanardha. Nobody can come even equal to or forget about being superior. Asamanardha Rupasri. The beauty of Krishna is so wonderful. Asamanurdha Rupasri Bismapita Charachara. The Chara and Achara, moving and non-moving, they get wonderstruck. Tribhuvana Kamanam Tamala Varnam Ravi Kara Gauravara Ambaram Dadhane. Tribhuvana Kamanam, that Supreme Lord who is so attractive, who attracts everybody. Tribhuvana Kamanam Tamala Varnam. How does he look like? Tamala Varnam is, somebody says Krishna is blackish, but no. Tamala Varnam is bluish like tamal tree. A person who is black is not really attractive. But the young age, even if you're not attractive, there is something which goes on inside. Even if you're ugly, people get married. Right? It's not like ugly people don't get married. There's somebody who's liking that ugly person, and they're getting married. But Krishna, neither he is ugly or black, nor he ages. Tribhuvana Kamanam Tamalavarna. In fact, I actually, this, I thought, how will I cover this? Chaitanya Charitamrita says at least 10-15 verses where it is mentioned how Krishna himself is wonderstruck or awestruck looking at his own beauty. Because in Dwarka, when he's going in the palaces, there are a lot of crystals where he sees his own reflection. And he looks at that and he says, is this me? He's so attractive. So that Krishna, and he says, and the mirror, in which Krishna is seeing, Krishna is looking at this, but he is asking himself, what is it in me that Radharani is getting so attracted? How she is getting so much of joy by rendering devotional service to me? That is how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes to relish that mood of devotional service to Krishna. That is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Tribhuvana Kamanam Tamala Varnam. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, I got one verse which I will. Okay, let me finish this first. Ravi Kara Gaura Vara Ambaram Dadhane. What is his dress? You look at this dress that Krishna is wearing today. Krishna loves to wear Pitambara, yellow dress. Ravi Kara Gaura Vara. Gaura is golden. Gaura Vara Ambaram. Golden yellow dress, Pitambara. In a previous verse also there was another mention. Ravi Kara. And the sun is shining. It's glittering. Ravi Kara Gaura Vara Ambaram Dadhane. Ambaram is dress. Dadhane. He's dharana. He's wearing Ravi Kara Gaura, the yellow dress. Usually Krishna wears a dhoti and one upari, or what is that? Chadar kind of a thing. He doesn't wear kurta and all. And he's standing there and the sunshine is falling and it is glittering. Bapur alaka kula britana ananabjam. Bapur alaka kula abrita. Bapur, the body is anointed with camphor and what is that? Huh? Sandalwood pulp. Yeah. So even if somebody does DT seva, you massage the Lord with some oil or something, chandan, this thing. So the Lord's body is anointed with sandalwood pulp and camphor. It's very fragrant. Vapura alaka kula brita anana abjam. Abjam is lotus and anana is face. His face is like lotus. Actually, if you read Chaitanya Charitamrita here and there also, if you search, about Krishna's beauty, his bodily description, you, you just cannot get attracted to any of the Netflixes or whatever it is going on if you read this. But unfortunately, we don't know. Vapuralaka kula britananabjam. Ananada. The face of the Lord is compared with a lotus, full bloomed, blossoming lotus. And you see this curly hair, matted locks of hair that Krishna has. So those black hairs in that black, this thing, the beautiful shining face of Krishna, which is appearing like a lotus. In Kunti Maharani's prayer, what is the comparison of Krishna with lotus? Starts with what? Hey, you're right. Okay. Nama Pankaja Nabhaya, Nama Pankaja Maline, Nama Pankaja Netraya, Namaste Pankajangre. How many lotuses Kunti Maharani is comparing Krishna with? वर्स बोल दिया इतना कम है क्या प्रभु फिर कितना कंपेयर कर रहे हैं इतना 5 is the right answer. Can we have a Hari Bol for Mataji? I don't know how she got it, but that's right. You thought about it or you have meditated. Namo Pankaja Nabhaya. Nabhaya is navel. The navel of the Lord is also compared with a Pankaja, lotus. Nama Pankaja Nabhaya, Nama Pankaja Maline. He is wearing a lotus garland. That's not a comparison. Nama Pankaja Nabhaya, Nama Pankaja Maline, Nama Pankaja Netraya. Netraya are two netras, 2 eyes. So 2 lotuses here, 1 in the navel. Namaste Pankajangre, the lotus feet. The feet of the Lord, there are 2 lotus feet, the 2 eyes, and the navel, 5. But Chaitanya Charitamrita says the Lord has 8 lotuses. Which are the other 3? Yes, right. And one more? Okay, we'll see. Very nice. You see this? Lotus mouth. And Mataji told. She told. That's correct. Wait. एक करके. नेत्रनाभि वदन कर युग चरण ए अष्टपद्म कृष्ण अंगे कर्पूर लिप्त कमल तार यैचे परिमल से गंध अष्टपद्म संगे. Netranaabhi Badana. So the Krishna's eyes 2, navel 3, face 4, hands 2, and feet. हो गया 8. हमने क्या छोड़ दिया 2 1 3 1 4 2 6 2 8. Okay, I think you got all 8 because we were not counting. Eyes 2, navel 3, face. Achha, face we were not seeing. Face is the one which we are discussing now. Netra Nabhi Badana Kara. Badana is face here. Here the verse that we have. Tamala Varna, what is that? Tribhuvana Kamanam Tamala Varnam Ravikara Gaura Barambaram Dadhane Vapur Alaka Kulabrita Ananam Abjam. Ananam is face. So the face of the Lord is so beautiful, my God, it's compared to the lotus. The 2 eyes are also 2 lotuses. The 2 hands are lotuses, navel and 2 feet. That makes it 8. Netra Nabhi Vadana Kara Yuga Charana Ei Ashta Padma Krishna Ange Karpura Lipta Kamala Tara Yaiche Parimala Sei Gandha Ashta Padma Sange. And what else? Krishna's eyes, navel and face, hands and feet are like 8 lotus flowers on his body. From those 8 lotuses emanates a fragrance like a mixture of camphor and lotus. That is the saint associated with. Krishna is, imagine somebody who's wearing, who's putting some deo or some fragrance or some what do you call, perfume or something. The body, you can smell that. But Krishna's body is Satchidananda. It is not, it's aprakrita. It's not prakrita body, material body. And even with material words to describe also is impossible. So, but it is giving the fragrance of camphor mixed with lotus is coming out. From those 8 lotuses emanates a fragrance like a mixture of camphor and lotus. That is the saint associated with his body. So I told we'll talk about 2 things. One was this lotus, and the second one, which is the mention in the first, is about the comparison of Krishna with Tamala, with the bluish hue, the body of the bluish hue. So here in Chaitanya Charitamrita it is mentioned, Jinya Tamala Dhyuti Indra Nila Samakanti Se Kanti Te Jagat Mataye Shringara Rasasara Chani Tate Chandra Jyotsna Sani Jani Vidhi Niramilataye. Krishna's bodily luster shines like the Indranila gem, and surpasses the luster of the tamal tree. Jinya tamala dyuti. Actually, there is nothing material that you can compare with what Krishna's beauty is. So Jinya, that's why he surpasses, he overcomes. Jinya tamala dyuti. Tamala tree you can find in Vrindavan. It has a bluish hue color. And when, after Krishna left, and it's mentioned in Bhagavatam how all these gopis, they used to embrace the tamala tree thinking that Krishna is present there. Jinya Tamala Dyuti. This Dyuti, the shining of Tamala, is nothing in front of Krishna. He overcomes that. See, he surpasses the luster of the Tamal tree. Krishna's bodily luster shines like the Indranila gem and surpasses the luster of the Tamal tree. The luster of his body drives the entire world mad. Sei kantite jagat mataye. And when you hear these descriptions, then only how will you otherwise know that the mind needs to be absorbed in that? Sei kantite jagat mataye, shringara rasa sara chani, tate chandra jyotsna sani, jani vidhi niramilataye. The luster of his body drives the entire world mad because Providence has made it transparent by refining the essence of the mellow of conjugal love and mixing it with moonshine. The luster of his body drives the entire world mad because Providence has made it transparent by refining the essence of the mellow of conjugal love and mixing it with moonshine. Sringara rasa sara chani tate chandra jyotsna sani. So it is mixed with the cool moonbeams, the moonshine. And what is it? Why the luster of the body is maddening? Because it is also mixed with the refining the essence of the mellows of conjugal love. The gopis, experiencing this rasa dance is the highest experience of transcendental bliss. That, if it is mixed with the cool beams of moonshine, that is what is the luster of Krishna. And that is why it drives the entire world mad. Let's go to that verse again. And then he's saying, Vijaya Sakhe Ratirastu me Anavadya. Vijaya Sakhe. One of the names of Arjuna is Vijaya, and Krishna is addressed here as Vijaya Sakhe. Rati, let my attraction be towards that Vijaya Sakhe Astu me Anavadya. Continuously, without fruitive result, let my mind be always attracted to that. This is the beautiful prayer of Bhisma Dev in this. And in one of the last thing that I would mention, and with this we will close, again in Chaitanya Charitamrita this is mentioned, that one of the most important limbs of Saranagati, one of the most finest, is ensuring that our mind is Vishuddha, that our mind is purified. That purified mind only we can give it. We can't give it dirty things. Somebody has given you something, some prasadam or something in one container. You eat that prasadam, and after that, as it is lying for 2-3 days, you just return it to him. Who would like to take that? Nobody. Visuddha mana. The mind should become purified, completely pure. That is possible if we bhaktya vesya. The mind has to be absorbed, imbued and soaked in bhakti. Then it becomes purified. And we saw those 4 things which Raghunath Das Goswami says are the enemies of the mind, and how by sadhu sangha one can overcome. And there are 8 things on which we should invest. And then we saw this beautiful description of Krishna's body. As I said, there's a limit of time. Otherwise, it's so wonderful. I didn't even touch the purport. Tribhuvana kamanam tamala varanam ravi kara gauravara ambaram dadhane. That should be our goal. That should be, even if we are not able to, not even there, but at least we can try. It is worth trying. This is what Bhisma Devi is showing by his example. I'll stop here and see if you have any questions or comments. Yeah. Always.